Hi, I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach parenting and good communication all over the world through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to know the condition of your child's heart. When a person learns self-government, that means that they have a change of heart. And many parents are concerned about helping their children have a change of heart. In this video, I'm going to be talking about having a change of heart and how you can discern or determine where your child's heart is at. Self-government is being able to determine the cause and effect of any given situation and possessing a knowledge of your own behaviors so that you can control them. So that means you choose to change your behavior, which also means you choose to change your thoughts, which ultimately means you've chosen to have a change of heart. Many parents hope for their children to have a change of heart, and they worry about the condition of their child's heart when they're seeing bad behavior or when they're feeling a disconnection from that child. I would say that disconnection from parents is kind of a pandemic that many parents are facing right now. It's a social disease, and I think they think that it's normal. It should not be normal for children to disconnect from their parents. Really, it's like the student disconnecting from the teacher, and it makes it so that the student is very lost and feels alone and doesn't know what to do. So they do need to have a good connection there. We're going to talk about how to create that good connection. But first, it's just important for us to understand that when a person is choosing to connect to other people, they are actually choosing on purpose to have a softer heart, to have a more humble heart, to value other people and not just themselves as well. And this is some of the foundation behind having self-government principle that you live by. If you're going to determine what's going on with your child, you've got to start somewhere. You've got to start at a place where you can unify. So what most people find very helpful is coming up with a plan of who you want to be in your relationship. So oftentimes I'll sit down with my children and say, what type of a relationship do we want to have 5 years from now? Or maybe it's even 20 years from now. What do you want it to feel like and be like when you're an adult and you come to visit me? And then what do I want it to feel like? And we talk about that. That type of deliberate conversation about your future relationships is actually shown in this book, Roles: The Secret to Family, Business, and Social Success. So in this book, you see parents of older children have relationship conversations like that and get their relationships repaired so that the parents and children can both live the roles that they are supposed to have. If your children understand where you're headed, this is going to help you in the minute see where they're at. Another thing that we've done in our family as we've raised our 4 children and raised other people's children doing therapeutic foster care is we have found that it's very helpful to deliberately teach them the skills that they need for success. So we teach our children 4 basic skills that they need. Those 4 basic skills are following instructions, accepting no answers and criticism, accepting consequences, and disagreeing appropriately. We also teach them the parent skills that we are going to use. So in my Teaching Self-Government Parenting course, I teach 5 different parenting skills that we use to help the children learn self-government and so that we can have self-government too. Well, we teach those skills to the children so that they are completely aware of how they will be corrected when things need correcting. It keeps the parenting completely predictable. Now, you might be thinking, how in the world does this help a parent discern the condition of their child's heart? Well, if you teach your child the skills they need for success, and all of those skills have steps in them related to calmness, and you teach them your parent skills that you're going to be using as well, then when it's time to use those skills, you can very easily see where a person is at. You can break it down. You can say, well, that person's looking at me and they're not having a calm face, voice, and body. Or you could say, they won't even look at me. Eye contact is a huge gauge for understanding where a person is at in their connection in your relationship. We definitely want to have ways where we can establish more eye contact. I'm going to spend more time talking about eye contact, but before we do, please click the subscribe button now. That button is going to open the floodgate to you of all kinds of videos that you can have to help improve your family relationships and strengthen the bonds with each other as you solve problems. So click the subscribe button now. You won't be disappointed. When you look at a person's eyes, be thinking, this is the windows to their soul. The eyes are the windows to the soul. You can learn a lot about a person by just taking the time to calmly look in their eyes. Think about what happens when you calmly look in their eyes and they don't want to be calm. They immediately roll their eyes, don't they? Because they don't want to make that contact. If they won't make that contact with you, then you know they are disconnected from you. That is a gauge right there. But if they will look at you, and they'll talk to you too and be open, then you know their condition of heart is pretty good. Many parents wonder if they've gotten through to their child when they've done a correction or had a teaching moment. If the child will look at you, even if they're not saying a lot, then probably you've gotten through. Probably you've touched their heart. But if the child won't look at you, then probably they're still thinking about it. Or maybe they're trying not to take personal responsibility and have a connection. There's two different types of not looking at you. So there's the not looking at you where you can tell they're thinking, and that's a good thing. Or there's the not looking at you where they're just not wanting to look at you. And they're wanting to detach somehow so that they can keep things your fault. Many times they'll walk away even during those times. At that point, you can be pretty sure that their heart is not connected to yours. And the whole goal is to have their heart connected to yours and to connect it to goodness too. And hopefully you are the means to do that. So eye contact is one of the most important things that you can gauge to see where their hearts are at. Additionally, having regular talk times in family meetings gives you an idea of where the child is at. Can they openly talk with you? Do you need to teach them how to openly talk with you first? You might need to. But hopefully after some teaching and practice has occurred, your child can have regular open communications with you. They'll even maybe want to touch you and hug you on a regular basis. If you're getting these types of touch points and contacts with your child, then probably their heart is pretty close to you, even if they may not see eye to eye about everything. So sometimes Porter, who's my youngest son, he's just about ready to leave the home. He will say something like, oh, I don't think I want to do that way because or whatever. And I might say something to him back like, oh, Porter, we really need to do that. And he'll come up to me and he'll say, oh, Mom, you're probably right. And he'll give me a touch. Like he'll put his arm around me, even though I might have just corrected him about something. And he shows me I'm okay. I'm okay being corrected. He lets me know with his body language that he's okay. And sometimes I'll reach out to him and give him a touch or give him a hug when he is being corrected so that he knows I'm okay with whatever happened too. We don't have to take the things that happen so personally in our family. If we can learn not to take them personally, then we can learn to connect even in the moments of correction, which can be very powerful for them and for us. In every one of the 4 basic skills that I teach in my Teaching Self-Government Parenting course, there is a step called Keep a Calm Face, Voice, and Body. So learn, what is their calm face, voice, and body look like? And what does it not look like or feel like? That way, when they are not being calm, you can very easily identify it. So take a little bit of time ahead of time to recognize what their calmness is and isn't, and then you'll be able to say, oh, it looks like we're not having a calm face, voice, and body right now, and you'll be able to go right into a correction. We can't do corrections very well if we cannot discern where their hearts are at. We can see behavior, but where are they really at on the inside? We need to know that so that we make sure we hit the mark with our teaching and correcting. Now let's say you've done all of this. You've looked at the body language, you've looked in the eyes, you've decided they might be kind of calm, but somehow they're still not opening up to you. That can happen. Sometimes children want to hide things from their parents. Even though they want to be close to their parents, they don't feel like they can tell their parents the full truth about something because they're not sure they can trust their parents' reaction. This is a time when you need to put your child at ease. So how do you put them at ease? When you meet with your child, tell them what you know. Tell them what you already know. Even sometimes stating your assumption as a full knowledge puts them at ease. So you might say to a child something like, I know that you have a hard time with your relationship with your brother. Or, I know that you've been seeing things online that have created an addiction. Just say it. Say what you think might be the case, because they will actually correct you if it's not the case. But I would just put them at ease by stating it and then say, and that's okay. It's okay. That could happen to anyone, or we all have times when we don't feel close to other people. Let's talk about why it's happening and what we can do about it so that it doesn't need to be a problem anymore. We need to let the children know they don't have to stay in that place where they don't feel good. Or you might even say something like, I know you think I don't understand you. You might even think I don't want to understand you, but I want you to know that I am here to understand, and there is nothing you could tell me that would shock me. I am ready to know anything and everything and to not get upset. Sometimes we have to put them at ease. It makes the whole conversation better. And then we'll be able to see where they're really at. Let them see into your heart that you're okay with them not being okay sometimes. And then they will show you that they're not okay, and you can then discuss it. Bonding is important in our relationships, and one of the key things that you can do after you've put them at ease or opened a conversation with them is really listen. Really pay attention to what they're saying and bond with them during that time. Show them how important that they are to you. If you've enjoyed this video, I'm quite sure you will like my next video, which is the not-so-known secret for parenting success. Click on the link to that video now and you will learn key skills and principles that you can use to teach yourself and your children more self-government. It will add on to what we've talked about here and give you key strategies for calmness that you might need. So click on the not-so-known secret for parenting success now.